What's up, guys? There it is. I can see the chat now. What's up? What's up? Guys? There it is. I can see the chat now. It actually looks pretty good. What's up, guys? There it is. I can see the chat now. It actually looks pretty good. What's up, guys? There it is. I can see the chat now. It actually looks pretty good. All right. So there's the StreamYard chat if you guys want to join. Let's just talk some Cowboys, and if you want to join, there's the link to join, and I'll see how this stuff works because I don't know how it works. It's my first time using StreamYards, guys, so bear with me here. Learning the system, guys. Learning the system. If y'all want to join, you can join, all right, and talk some Cowboy football. And I don't know how to do this. Let's see. Oh,
How you doing, man?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing, bro?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Tell my subscribers about your channel, man, real quick, because I don't know, if they heard of you or not. So go ahead and break it down, man.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm multi-minded Scotty. I was formerly known as Open-Minded Movie Man. I do reviews. I definitely do some Cowboys content for sure. I also talk about, I also do some live streams, and I plan to talk about various things like some music and book-related stuff at some point. Sometime in the future, and that's basically what I do. So,
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. So welcome to Dallas Cowboy Football News. Your first time on a live stream here with DCFN. So I appreciate you stopping by. And remember, guys, there's a link. I don't know how many people I can have in here, but you're more than welcome to come in here and talk some Cowboys with me.
Sure, but just make sure there are no trolls coming in on the stream.
I don't got no trolls, bud. I don't have no troll. This ain't TTC or anything like that. This is
Gotcha.
all Dallas Cowboy love here. I even got moderators that'll be coming in here soon. I'm pretty sure. So, but anyway.
I was going to offer, to mod if you like, but if you got a lot of mods, it's cool. I understand.
I don't know if I have that many. There you go. So you're a mod now.
Appreciate it, man. It's a pleasure. So, how was your day overall, man?
Good day. I got a week off of work, so I'm planning on going live all week, talking Cowboy football, getting some things up and running, and doing all that stuff. Like, just for example, Scotty, check this out. Scott Robinson, hey man, I'm an Eagles fan, but love your channel and the work you do. I appreciate you, Scott Robinson. I really do. Like I said, man, it's all love here. No TTC stuff here. This is strictly Cowboys, NFC East, showdown, talk, stuff like that. The only thing that I really allow is my brother. He's a diehard New York Giants fan. I let him come on. When I go over there, I'll go live and we'll talk NFC East, but that's usually later on in the off season. But that's how we do it here. So this ain't like, and I'm not showing shade at Mike Mosh or anything like that, but this ain't anything like that. So
I understand. It's always great. It's always good to have some civil conversations if we want to, talk about the Cowboys. No trash talk or anything like that. Sometimes trash talk can get a little bit out of hand, and someone might say something offensive, and we don't want to be about that. We just want to have a civilized discussion of what our teams are and what going forward. Whether they're gonna improve in this area or where they're gonna regress in one area. So yeah, or we can or talk with other teams that are not fans of us, but like you said, we can always have a civilized discussion. It's always what can they do to improve, or what, are they going to be any better? But yeah. And as far as I'll say this, I definitely like the Mike McCarthy hire. Even though it's been what, almost 2 months, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was I wouldn't say it's a flashy or splash hire, but it was like the smart hire, because what other coach were we going to get with any kind of NFL experience or any kind of playoff success with a 10-8 record and with a Super Bowl win? So yeah, I mean, who would have been there? I mean, maybe Urban Meyer from the college ranks and Lincoln Riley, but they're college coaches, and college coaches don't exactly transition that well just yet in the NFL. It takes a little bit of time, or they may never translate. So yeah, it's kind of like a crapshoot with them.
I did not want a college coach at all. And
yeah, I don't blame you.
I think the Dallas Cowboys did this right 1,000% in hiring Mike McCarthy. You called it safe. I 1,000% agree with you. It was safe, and
Mhm.
but it was right. I mean, you look at his resume of coaching quarterbacks and how he handles that success from a quarterback standpoint. I think is phenomenal. I think he knows his X's and O's. I think he knows how to game plan. I think Mike McCarthy knows how to game manage inside game situations. And that's not something Dallas Cowboy fans are used to. 10 years under Garrett of the same stuff. And I think Mike McCarthy can bring a little bit of that juice, a little bit of that game changing, in time game planning changes decisions immediately. And that's going to help the football team.
Exactly, and I've heard rumors that apparently some Packer fans are saying, "Oh, he's like Garrett 2.0 and stuff like that," or which I don't think is necessarily the case. At least he's willing to make adjustments, and he won't run the same stale game plan each time. It's with Garrett. It's always this beat your man attitude, blah blah blah. It's the same philosophy, like you said, for 10 years, probably even more than that, since he was the offensive coordinator hired back in 2007, actually. So,
I
yeah,
think, and when you look at the Cowboys, and you look at Jason Garrett and you look at Mike McCarthy in the Green Bay Packers, with Jason Garrett, I don't want to say it was stale. When you look at Mike McCarthy and the Green Bay Packers, I call that situation stale. When you look at Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys, that situation was long overdue. So there's a difference between Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett and their tenures at their previous teams. And Jason Garrett did not. He was an on-the-job coach. He was on-the-job training. You
yeah,
look at all his assistants, that came in. They were on-the-job assistants of learning.
hmm
Mike McCarthy, you look at his staff. Besides the cornerback coach that used to play for him, everybody has years of National Football League experience, and that's
yeah,
only going to help the Cowboys.
exactly. Same with Mike Nolan, Joe Philbin. I mean, Mike McCarthy. He's been in the league since what, '87. He started off small, like he was a quarterback coach for a good while with the Chiefs. How he worked with John Montana. He even was with the Packers for 1 year before coming back to them again in 2006. He even made Aaron Brooks a fairly decent quarterback with his tenure with the New Orleans Saints. So,
Yeah.
and then he worked
So
under. Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say he worked under Mike Nolan in 2005 when he believed at the time that Alex Smith was a better quarterback than, say, Aaron Rodgers. But of course, I guess he didn't realize the Rodgers' potential, and he was able to coach, some of the deficiencies out of Aaron Rodgers, like how to hold the ball and mechanics, everything you name it. So yeah,
Interesting topic. Good. I mean, that's Facts 101, guys. Subscribe to Multi-Minded Scotty, guys. Nothing but hot knowledge there. Rob Murray wants to know, shouldn't you guys be pissed off that Dak didn't accept the contract? Now, this contract is from the summer, guys. So this wasn't recent. This wasn't yesterday. This wasn't last week. That $105 million guaranteed contract offer was from training camp. So, real quick, Scotty, what was your reaction when that news and the numbers actually finally broke?
what are my overall thoughts? Honestly,
Yeah.
um, honestly, I don't know. I'm thinking that Dak maybe should have at least taken it, to some degree at the time. That's a reasonably good contract, and even though Cooper, at the time definitely improved the offense, Dak still had pretty much some average stats there. But I think that contract, honestly, looking back, it was a pretty fair deal. I'm wondering if they're going to go with something similar, but increase, the numbers to, like, let's say 36 million per year with 110 million guaranteed for 5 years or something like that. That's if Dak's going to sign this new deal, whatever's going around. So yeah, but
D. Lunatic posted some of Dak's success here. Dak has a 40-24 record, 97 touchdowns,
mhm.
36 interceptions, 65 career completion percent, 2 divisional titles, and in 4 years. Jerry Pay the man, and he also included 22 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Are those stats real to you, Scotty, or are some of them because of pieces around him?
Mm, it could be maybe the pieces, but those are reasonably good stats right there. I mean, sure, he may not have like Romo like numbers, but at least he doesn't throw as many as interceptions as Romo did. And people were saying that we could have had guys like Paxton Lynch or Connor Cook or Christian Hackenberg. I mean, we and thankfully we didn't get those guys because they didn't pan out at all. And I don't know if they would have I don't know if they would have had anywhere near the stats that Dak has. Because I think he can be a good quarterback. I don't know if he'll be elite, but I do know McCarthy will definitely help some of his issues and try to at least help fix certain mechanics, which I think such as I don't know if he'll ever improve his throwing power because I'm pretty sure any kind of quarterback you're not going to be able to improve your throwing power. Only maybe in Madden or something like that you can do. But I do know that McCarthy might be able to coach some of the other little issues that Dak had, such as maybe ball placement. Because I know in the Eagles game he seemed a bit all over, even though it was maybe the injury. But if that was the case, Garrett should have stepped in and said, we need to see what we have with Rush or something like that. And then if Rush wasn't doing well, they should have played Dak later on in that game to see if he would have done any better. So
Real quick, I'm going to plug some stuff real quick, guys. Big shout out to Multi-Mighty Scotty for coming in here talking Cowboy football, guys. Make sure you subscribe to him. The Frisco Report will be live tomorrow night with Cowboys blog, guys. So make sure you follow the Frisco Report. Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Great content from Cowboys blog and myself. Not being biased, it really is good
hang on a second,
podcast.
BCS man.
It is good podcast work, guys. So make sure y'all pay attention for those community tab notifications, guys, and give the Frisco Report a listen. Also,
Excuse me. Just want to let you know I will be back, but I have to go downstairs for a while. But I'll be back. Okay.
okay, and also, guys, make sure you follow the Roundtable crew, guys. My Cowboys family, fifth quarter Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys fan, 1980. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you subscribe to those guys. But let's get into this, guys. Multi-minded, we right back. I guess I'll give my discussion of Dak Prescott, and I mean he posted some good stats, guys. Some good stats. The 40-24 record, the 97 touchdowns, the 36 interceptions, the 65% career completion percentage, 2 division titles, all that in 4 years. And he said, Jerry, pay the man. Some of it's fool's gold, guys, and I know I'm going to get some hate for that. And Scotty mentioned Dak's mechanics, and he's still doing rookie mistakes as a 4-year quarterback. He should have took the $33 million offer. If I'm the Cowboys, I do not go up from that offer, guys. That's just not something I would do. But that's my take on it. And I know I'm going to get some hate for it, but that's okay. That's just my opinion on Dak Prescott. Uh, what safety can the Cowboys get? Trey Boston or Eric Berry? The Cowboys got to go draft their safety, whether it's Xavier McKinney, Grant Delpit. You can get you a quality safety, strong safety that is, at number 1 or at number 2, guys. So second round picks, right? First round or second round. You can get you um, quality strong safety play there. Day 1 starters, I believe, especially in Xavier McKinney. Grant Delpit to me is iffy, guys. Injury bugs, um, stuff like that. What's going on, Rhinestone Cowboy? Thank you, VTPSTTU. Thank you for your Q&A on the Frisco Report, by the way. I really appreciate you there. Would you guys give Des Bryant another chance? No. Des Bryant needs to stay on the street or go sign with a different team. I hate when the media brings and blows former players coming back to teams. I mean, they just did it with Ronald Larry. Ronald Larry has knee issues. And here we go with the Ronald Leary coming back to the Cowboys things. Here we go. That's already been said with Des Bryant, guys. Calm down. Let's get younger, stronger, and faster. And you can't do that with Ronald Leary, respectively, and with Des Bryant, respectively. Ryan Strong Cowboy, what's going on? Mark Holmes and his band of Zealots are equivalent. Dallas Cowboy fan 1980 in the house, man. What's going on, man? How you been, bro? Go subscribe to Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Be pure or be purged. I don't want to talk about Mark Holmes and them. They're not here, so I won't talk about those guys. Can the Cowboys get a Hall of Famer back or get a new tight end? I think they need to get a new one. Boys for life, dude. Come in here. Come in here, boys for life. I would like to talk some ball with you. Let me see if I can get this going here. 1 second. Bear with me here. Let me go to my Hangouts here. Let me copy this, copy text. Let me go in my chat. Boys for life, come in here. I'd love to talk ball with you, bro. Come on in here, boys for life. There he is. Boom. What's up, boys for life?
What's up, DCFN? How you been, man?
I've been good. Hey, let the subscribers here on Dallas Cowboy Football News know what you're about, what your channel's about, and man, they definitely need to go subscribe to you.
All right. What my channel's about is I do a lot of trash talking to other fans, mainly Eagle fans, because their rhetoric that they put out there is just retarded and just on a whole nother level of delusional. They call us delusional, but listening to them talk, I don't know. So I mainly go after Eagle fans, but when the season comes, I basically talk shit to any team that is on our schedule, any fan base. And what I like to do is take videos, clips of what they say, and chop them up and clip them up and make them look kind of stupid and just go after them. And it's a fun little hobby to do. And that's basically what my channel is. So if anybody's into listening to shit talking, just come over to my channel, subscribe, and that's what you'll get. And now in the off season, I'm mainly more of a, all right, who should we go after? What should we draft? What I would like to see and report on just, what's going on in the off season. What I want to ask you is, how do you feel about Dak turning down this 105 guaranteed?
Great question, boys for life, and I think it's asinine. Dak should have took that money there because I don't think the Cowboys are going to raise that contract offer unless the new CBA kicks in and there's more salary cap to work with. I don't. Let's say it stalls for a whole year. Dak Prescott will be playing under a franchise tag because him and his agent got greedy.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. And to me, like, I've always been with you on Dak and how, I mean, he's won me over, but to me, he hasn't done enough to get to that 105 guaranteed. Now, people want to say, well, he's better than Carson Wentz, he's better than Jared Goff and this, that. But at the same time, Jared Goff got his team to the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz set his team up to get to the Super Bowl. And to me, on those legs alone, you can get paid a decent amount. Now, Dak Prescott has just won us a playoff game or two. And I don't think, to me, I'm like you. You and I are old school kind of guys. I think that a player should get paid after he's given the organization a Super Bowl or an NFC championship, not just a rushing title or playoff wins. Like, that's how I feel. I don't feel like a lot of these guys coming up should be getting paid the way they do. It's just to me, it's just greedy, and it's like you're putting yourself first before the team. And with a salary cap like what we've had, you're just destroying the team, looking out for your own interests.
Mm-hmm. No, I do know, and that's why I say subscribe to this guy. And I see Keith in here. He's been with me for a while talking about Dak Prescott. I mean, Keith agrees with me a lot on Dak. Boys for life. But this is where I agree with you, boys for life. Dak hasn't won me over. And I don't think Dak will ever win me over because the mechanics of what a football player should be has not improved from year 1 to year 2. It's still Mississippi State, Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
It's still rookie Dak Prescott. And take away Amari Cooper, take away Zeke, keep the 5 best offensive linemen up there. I don't see improvement.
Yeah. No. I feel you on that. Like a lot of these guys are look at what Dak did when Amari got here. Look how good he got. It's because Amari got here. We were 3-5 without a number one. You know, I mean, you have some of these quarterbacks that can play without a number one and do well without a number one. Our guy, you know, I'm not trying to diminish anything, but at the same time, he needs the help to get there. And then you want to pay him all this money when it's the help that should get the money, you know?
Absolutely. And Keith brought up another good point. And when I'm arguing with quote unquote Dak homers or Dak lovers, whatever you want to call them, my question to them is Tony Romo better than Dak? And the answer is always yes. So my comeback to that is, why would you settle for less than? Why settle for an average quarterback? We went from Tony Romo to a quarterback that's not better than Tony Romo, but you want to make this guy your franchise quarterback. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. No, I get you. I'm with you on the Romo. To me, a lot of our years, we would have been without, like, a lot of people say that with Romo, we were 8-8, we didn't do this and we did that. And I tell them, well, without Romo, we wouldn't have been 8-8. We would have been 4-12, 3-13. We would have been a lot worse off if we hadn't had Romo. And the 2015 season proved that, when Romo had 3 wins and the rest of our 4 or 5 quarterbacks combined only had 1.
Yeah, 1-11. Yeah.
I mean, so to me, Romo was the better of the quarterback. I mean, it was our coaching, and that played a big part of the lack of success that we had. But even then, Romo had his success, you know.
Yep.
So.
No, all great knowledge there.
Let me put you on mute real quick. I'm at work right now, so let me put you on mute. When I get back in the truck, I'll get back on.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Voice for Life. Oh, I got someone waiting here. What's going on, man? How you been? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother. Love your videos. Love the passion. This is the Lunatic. Want to just chime in. Love the opportunity to share some thoughts.
Oh man, share them.
Hey, listen. I mean, I do agree. Tony Romo was a better talent, but Dak can get there. This is what's screwing us over. In Jerry's mind, Tony had Bill Parcells' seal of approval. Who the hell is vouching for Dak? Linehan? No. Kellen Moore, that's quarterback coach? Or Jason Garrett? Yes, I do agree. The mechanics aren't there yet. He's a different individual than Tony Romo. His mechanics are not going to be the same, but he can still get the job done. And unfortunately, like I said,
I agree.
I do believe in Dak. His numbers speak it. Go through the league. Have other quarterbacks done that? And if they've done that, have they gotten paid? Because, again, productivity. Who the hell? It wasn't his fault. He was a 4th rounder. Somebody messed up somewhere and said, hey, this is a 4th round talent. We stumbled on him. He was drafted what? Not to be a starter, a backup. Tony got hurt. He walked in there, and a lot of those fans don't like Dak because in their mind, they pushed Tony out too soon. And that's life in the NFL. That's life in the NFL. Injuries happen. You're considered too old, and hey, we got a younger version, cheaper version. Well, that cheapness is now coming to bear, and hey, he played his contract. He played under his contract. He didn't say a peep. He didn't hold out like Zeke did last year, saying, I want more money. Saying, look, I proved it to you. Now I'm coming to you, and let's negotiate a contract. So that's why I'm saying it's quarterback. You're going to overpay, but I don't think you're going to get value with him. McCarthy, as an offensive coordinator in New Orleans, made Aaron Brooks look decent. I believe in McCarthy. I don't believe in Jason Garrett. I wouldn't have paid him. I would have franchise tagged him if Jason Garrett would have still been here and said, no, you got to prove it some more. Why? Because of the coaching. McCarthy has a pedigree. You can say, well, he didn't do it with Rodgers. That's just talent. Well, that's fine. Then go back. Go back to Favre. Go back to when he was in San Francisco. He is considered by most football people as an innovator at the quarterback coach position. He got humbled. You know, he butted heads with Rodgers, got kicked out of Green Bay. Fine. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And a lot of times, if you go back, coaches, Andy Reid won his first Super Bowl with his second team, Kansas City. There's a lot of coaches that are humbled and say, hey, you know what? I got to reevaluate this. I've got to see if my approach is still working. And it gets better. So my thing is, yes, we're going to have to just the cost of doing business, but the cap's going up. We're talking about his contract. Hell, San Francisco Garoppolo, Jimmy G was the highest paid for what, 8 months before his contract was overshadowed by the new one? Dak's contract is going to be overshadowed, trust me, by Deshaun, by Mahomes, and somebody else who loves somebody else is going to pay him the money for that potential. But let's get him signed so we can use that franchise tag on somebody else. That's the bigger issue to me. Are the Joneses messing with that, fumbling that franchise tag? Because I voted on CBAs. You can talk to members about, hey, we should hold out for this. We should hold. Their question is, well, wait a minute, am I going to get paid more? Then they vote yes. So the CBA is going to be approved. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be approved. We're going to have that franchise tag, and we need to get Dak signed so we can use it on somebody else. How the hell are we losing Byron Jones when we have this cap money? And then also possibly losing Amari Cooper, because free agency is a bidding war. You never know. Somebody might think we need him. New England might say, hey, if we sign Amari, we can say, Tom Brady, look, I'm giving you weapons. Philadelphia might say, hey, we're gutting our wide receiver core. Let's start with Amari. We've seen what he's done against us. So you never know. I don't want to take that risk. That's what I'm saying. Jerry, sign the man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to spend money to make money. And Dak is a value to me. Dak is a value to me. 4 years is no accident. 1 year is a fluke. That first year, it was me. Defense is going, let's see your fourth rounder beat us. I'm gonna stop the 4th overall pick. That monster I saw in college come out of Ohio State. They did that. We punished them 13-3. Then they're still adjusting. But now with McCarthy, I love it. I love that move. Somebody I didn't consider, but the more I looked into it, the better I am. I will always make this point to my Cowboy fans. We are closer to the Kansas City offense than we are to the San Francisco defense. Give me a top 3 scoring offense, not yards, scoring offense. Give me a middle-of-the-road defense, and that could equal a Super Bowl. That equals, to me, success in the playoffs. Hell, if the Texans had a decent enough if they would have stopped Kansas City sometime, that 24 lead would have held. That's freak there. A 10-point lead in the 4th again would have held. Even Atlanta Patriots win over the Falcons a couple of years ago, that lead would have held. It's just a different NFL. It is just a different NFL. That's why even in the draft, I'm saying if the number one, the best player available is a wide receiver, you take it, you hand it to McCarthy, and say, let's outscore everybody. But again, love the passion, love the Cowboys talk. I hate that I got to get ready for work, but hey, thanks a lot for all the content. Thanks a lot for letting me on. And, Cowboys till I die. Cowboys till I die. Nobody else. To hell with the damn midgets, who I am going to say the midgets are going to be surprise team of the NFC East. Not because of Jason Garrett, because of Judge. That guy, every time I see him speak, I like him. I like him. And damn, I want a tough division so we can survive this division, and get us ready for the playoff run. But thanks a lot, guys.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on here. The Dallas Cowboy Football News. I loved all your thoughts and opinions there. I respect your thoughts and opinions. You said some great things. D Lunatic did, and some things I disagree with, some things I agree with, and that's what it's about. And guys, real quick, we got the Dallas Cowboy fan 1980 in the house, guys. Welcome to Dallas Cowboy Football News. Oh, and he just left again. He got disconnected, so maybe he'll come back on. But real quick, Scotty, I mean, what did you agree on? What didn't you agree on with the Lunatic?
Well, I definitely agree with the fact that Dak can be a good quarterback, and I definitely agree with the fact that he's a different quarterback from Tony Romo, because Romo had the ability to really air it out if he could. He definitely had the accuracy. The main problem is that he's too much of a gunslinger. He'll take chances. That's why he was being compared with Favre back in the day. But Dak is they call him the game manager, but he can at least elevate his game to a certain perspective. And I definitely think that the fact that he's able to at least be an efficient quarterback and at least keep the offense turning, because right before the disaster in 2017, Dak was doing really good. In fact, he was at one point projected to throw maybe 40 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. But then the Ezekiel Elliott suspension, then losing Tyron Smith, and then Chaz Green happened. It just disintegrated. It just crumbled so fast. Like you couldn't. It's just like it's a huge oil leak, and you couldn't plug the hole fast enough to stop it from leaking even further. And then even Byron Bell, who wasn't Chaz Green bad, was still not good, and the offense just suffered. But I think it's also because of the fact that I think Garrett tried to turn Dak into a pocket passer, and that's not really Dak's strong suit. He's kind of similar because he can be mobile and he can throw on the run. He can do very good in play action, but apparently he didn't have enough, pro-style offense. I think he mainly ran out of the shotgun a lot back in college. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, he did. He didn't go in. Dak Prescott didn't go under center until rookie training camp in the National Football League.
Yeah, but if he has, I don't know if any other quarterback, let's say Matt Stafford or Case Keenum. A lot of people were saying we should sign those guys instead of Dak, which honestly Dak is much better than those guys for sure, especially Stafford. Or even Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady might have been good, for a while, but he's starting to decline, and there's no way I would want him. Someone even said Phillip Rivers, for crying out loud, and that's ridiculous. Phillip Rivers had easily the worst year last year, so yeah. But I'm trying to think of what I disagree with the Lunatic on. I don't know if I can really disagree with him on that. Well, what would you say you disagreed with him on the Lunatic?
That Dak Prescott has it. To me, he don't have it. Respectively disagree, by the way, that is. He just, to me, he don't have it. And, I mean, it sucks to say I want Dak to succeed, but I just don't see that it factor in Dak Prescott. I mean, am I wrong for thinking that?
I can understand that, he's not quite as talented as Tony Romo, but I do think Dak is a good leader. There's no question about it. I mean, he got a master's in leadership or something like that. I can't remember the specific name, but it was something along those lines. And yeah, he may not have quite, the arm that Tony Romo had. It's still at least above average. At least it's still better than Cooper Rush. I mean, would you, like, for example, people, like I said earlier, people were thinking we should sign Case Keenum or Matthew Stafford or Phillip Rivers or forget who else, Tom Brady. Would you still want any of those guys, especially those older ones, especially Matt Stafford?
Well, there we go. We got him in now. Well, here's my take real quick, and we're going to end the Dak Prescott stuff, though.
Okay.
And move on. We've been on that subject for a while. So with Dak Prescott, I want him to play under the franchise tag, and I want him to play under Mike McCarthy for 1 year. Can Dak Prescott play under a true West Coast offense for 1 year under a quarterback guru coach who has that name title attached to his name and Mike McCarthy? If Dak Prescott can win us 2 playoff games, take us to an NFC championship, pay him whatever he wants, the gamble was worth it. That's my take on Dak Prescott.
Yeah. But I would at least try to give him a contract, and same with Amari. Give him a contract, but at least franchise Byron Jones so that none of our division rivals get him. That would be the smart thing to do.
No, let Byron Jones walk. Let Byron
You mean you wouldn't mind it if he became a Philadelphia Eagle or
Nope. DeMarco Murray was a Philadelphia, and how did that work out for him?
Well,
Jason
they tried to-
Hatcher was a Washington Redskin. How did that work out for him? Jason Garrett was a New York Giants backup quarterback. How did that work out for him? I don't mind players from the Cowboys going to divisional rivals because it never works out. Look at
You know what
Deion
I don't
Sanders when he went to the Washington Redskins. It didn't work
What I
out
don't
for Deion.
understand, what I don't understand about some of our fan base is we keep talking about turnovers, interceptions, but then they want to keep Byron Jones because he's a good shutdown guy. And I'm like, no. To me, he's not a shutdown guy. To me, like, when I watched Simon's live stream the other day, he made a good point. What side are you going to go to? A side where Cheeto's at, where it's easier? Or are you going to go to a side to pick on? Or are you going to go to a Byron Jones where it's a little bit more hard? Because to me, what I'm watching with my eyes with Byron Jones, when they finally start picking on Byron Jones, he's giving up the plays.
That's facts.
Yeah, I do remember this one play in the Seahawks
Well,
game.
hold on real quick. Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, welcome. How you been, bro? Can you hear me?
What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
We
Yes,
hear
sir.
you just fine, man. It's a
What's
pleasure
up?
to interact with you, man.
This
What's
is
up, everybody? Hey,
This
glad
is
to.
the power man himself right here, guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I just I decided out of respect, I'll go ahead and jump on, man. I want to thank you for having me on before I go to bed and everything. What's going on? What's the word? What y'all talking about?
Oh, we're talking about miscellaneous offseason stuff, man. No true topics. We've been bouncing around. Now we're on Byron Jones. So
Okay.
1980, respectively, give your thoughts about Byron Jones.
Byron Jones. When I think of Byron Jones, I think of a safe corner. He's a safe guy. He's really not a playmaker that goes after the ball, but he's an okay cover corner. There are probably coachable a million Byron Joneses out there you can coach up to be the same way. Byron Jones is not a playmaker. He would not go after the ball. He doesn't turn his head. He just happens to be in the right place at the right time most of the time. He's a good athlete. He's transitioned from safety to corner, from safety to corner. And he's an okay corner. He's a safe guy, like I keep saying. But he's not that playmaking. We got new coaches. We got new teachers, guys, on this team now. We got new parents here, raising the kids. We got new teachers in the classroom. And these teachers, these parents, like I always say, they are raising playmakers. They want playmakers. They want to swarm to the ball. And Byron Jones does not fit that description. Is he a good cover corner? He's average to me. A good cover corner is somebody that this is a good cover corner to me. A good cover corner is somebody that the offense game plans around. The quarterback is scared to throw that way. Byron Jones, they're not afraid of him. Nobody's afraid of him. A good cover corner makes quarterbacks afraid of him. Can anybody on this panel honestly say that Byron Jones can shut down one side of the field and can be on an island all by himself and not see any playing time in a game? Eventually, his luck will run out, and it has. I've seen it happen in games. So I don't mind them letting him walk, but if they decide to keep him, I'm not going to be upset either. But he's just a safe corner, and that's just all I'm going to give to him. He's done some good things. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's done some okay things at times, but as far as making a play, the object of defense is getting the ball back for your offense. It's not to run down the clock. It's not to game plan around. You have no time for that. You got to get the ball back in your offense's hands so they can do what? Get the ball down the field so they can milk the clock and they can execute and they can score. That's your job as a defensive guy, whether it's corner, defensive line, defensive tackle, one tech, whatever, linebacker, Sam, Mike, Will. It doesn't matter. You got to get that ball back. You got to do 3 and out. You got to get off the field. And these guys haven't been doing that. This has been the trouble with this team. And I keep saying over and over, defense wins games. Look who was in the Super Bowl. Look who was in the playoffs last year. All pretty good defensive teams. You got to have a defense first in order for your offense to make something happen on the field.
That is right there, guys, is the
Well
power
said, man.
of 1980. Thank you for coming on 1980. Thank you for your thoughts on Byron Jones, man. That's good stuff, and I can't disagree with any of that. That's my stance right there when it comes to number 31. And if he's in shit green, or if he's in that dirty red over there with the Giants, or that nasty burgundy with the Redskins, I don't care, because he what 1980 just said. It's just average cornerback play. And if we sign Amari Cooper long term, Amari Cooper is going to have a field day with Byron Jones.
Yeah.
But Boys for Life, I'm sorry I had to mute you, bro. The static was getting too loud there. But you can unmute yourself if you got anything to say.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had muted me. No, I agree with everything that 1980 said. Like I was saying earlier, once quarterbacks finally start throwing over to Byron Jones' side, they keep going over there. They don't stop. And, I mean, when we had that lead 2 years ago in the playoffs against the Seahawks, and we almost blew it, I mean, who was the one that was giving up that touchdown to make it an even closer game? It was Byron Jones.
Yep.
My thing, the play I remember most about Byron Jones is Dak and Zeke's rookie year, 3rd and 20, Aaron Rodgers to Cook on the sideline. 3rd and 20, and you have Byron Jones covering Cook, and he just lets Cook get open on the sideline and catches the ball. They go ahead and kick the game-winning field goal. That's the play I'll always remember.
Yeah.
I mean, he just watched the guy go right in front of him and did nothing about it.
Good point.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
that to me, that's what I get. That's what I get with Byron Jones. It's like AD said, he's safe. He's a good cover guy, but he's not that guy that's going to go out and make a game-changing play.
Mm-hmm.
Good point, Boys for Life.
Good point.
That's a dagger. That's a dagger that all four of us, including the whole Cowboy Nation, TTC, whatever, will remember, will go down in history as a dagger. That was a dagger. And Byron Jones and that secondary does have a lot to blame, but why did he have so much time to do that? He had no pass rush either.
Yeah.
And so that's, you got to look at, but great point. I'm glad you brought that up, because Cowboy fans need to hear that. And everybody that thinks Byron Jones is a shutdown corner and all that stuff, y'all got to go back and look at the facts, man, because it's not there. He's not there. He's not what you're looking for. And he's done some good things at times, at spurts, but it's not consistent. You got to have consistency. That word consistency takes you to the Super Bowl, and that's in any position. It takes you to the Super Bowl. If you write that word in the locker room, and everybody in the offense, defense, punt, whatever, that word right there is should be the mascot of a football team. Like, seriously, the word consistency, because you can't get out there and do good. And like D-Law, everybody has a problem. D-Law got paid. You know what I'm saying? D-Law showed out. He showed out the year before. I mean, everybody was like, okay, D-Law is what that is. Now he's kind of like, where was he last season? What did he have? 4.5 sacks or something like that?
5 sacks.
I mean, come on, man. You're the highest paid guy. You're getting the most money. You got to show up. I don't give a damn about being double teamed. Reggie White was double teamed. Charles Haley was double teamed. Refrigerator Perry, Richard Dent, all those guys were double teamed too. John Randall was double teamed. I can go back to the old school. These cats were double teamed. Warren Sapp was double teamed. You get what I'm saying? It's just
1980.
He should have done a lot better, and he disappeared. And we need that. That's not what we need. Consistency, and that's what hopefully these new coaches, these new teachers, these new parents can bring to this organization. And I never got a chance. I heard y'all talking about Dak, and let's just see. We got new, like I just said, we got new coaches. Everybody's new. Everybody's fresh, except Kellen Moore, with the exceptions of Kellen Moore. But we got a new head coach. We got a new honcho at the helm. So let's just see. Let's just see how Dak can do under this new, coaching regime. Let's just see how he can do with this West Coast offense or whatever. And we just go from there. And at least give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, with the contract, y'all know I'm not a contract guy. I don't like being in people's pockets or anything like that. But I'm not gonna say what he deserved. I really don't give a damn. I just want the job to get done. Best man for the job. If it's Dak, I'm gonna support him because he's a Cowboy. If it ain't Dak, next man up. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of tired of the Dak thing. You know, half the fan base likes him, half the fan base, you know, hates him, and then you got the fan base in the middle, like, you know, whatever. So I'm just like, you know, best man for the job. I like Dak. I'm gonna support him long as he, you know, in there. So.
1980, real quick. You brought up DeMarcus Lawrence and you know his and I'm a defensive line guy, so I tend to stick up for defensive linemen just a little bit more than other positions because that's my position. And so played right in high school and stuff like, you know, I was pretty good, but besides the point. But if I think if you put a big fat juicy Wendy's Baconator in the middle to help stop the run. You know, at 1 tech, 3 tech. I think if you put that big fat Baconator in there, I think that would have helped someone like DeMarcus Lawrence or, you know, because DeMarcus Lawrence, Robert Quinn should have gave a little bit of his money to DeMarcus Lawrence because that 11.5 sacks, I mean, pure talent for a 31-year-old just getting off that defensive line the way Robert Quinn did. I mean, he looked like DeMarcus Ware in his prime on his first step. It was beautiful. But a lot of that pressure got taken off of him. Why? Because number 90 is on that side. So imagine if you go get a Kinlaw, a big fat juicy Baconator in that middle. That's going to help DeMarcus Lawrence just a little bit more.
Do you mind if I give my thoughts? Sorry.
Go ahead, Scotty. I was going to go to you next.
Yeah, I was going to give my thoughts on Byron Jones and the defense. And also a quick shout out to Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980. It's a pleasure interacting with you. I was actually formerly Open-Minded Movie Man, but now I've changed my name to Multi-Minded Scotty, just FYI.
Oh yeah, I got you, bro. I ain't forgot about you, man. I appreciate it though, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I like to have you on my streams at some point too, whenever that's possible. Okay. But on Byron Jones, like I said, like y'all said, he is a smart corner. He has that coverage ability, but here's the thing I will say most, and I'll sum it up. He allows a lot of big plays against him rather than him always making the big play, pretty much. He's that type of guy for some reason. I mean, he has some good solid coverage ability, but he doesn't have that ball hawking mentality in him for some reason, for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because it was maybe the scheme of Rod Marinelli's scheme or Chris Richard, whoever was really in charge last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, because before then he was a safety and he was decent. He had the ability to cover tight ends well, but he just doesn't have, like I said, that nose for the football. And we lack guys like that on the defensive backfield. Hell, to be honest, even Jordan Lewis has that ball hacking mentality, and I think he's honestly really the only one. Hell, you can even say the same with Jeff Heath. At least he has the ability to get interceptions. So that's what I like with Mike Nolan bringing that to our defense. Now back on Byron Jones, do I want him back? Not at $16 million, not at $15 million. No way. He's not worth that much. Because he just, like you said, he can bat balls, but he also allows big plays. Like Boys for Life mentioned that Seahawks game. We were up 24-14. Then all of a sudden, the Seahawks drive really quickly, allow that 50-yard completion. It's unbelievable how he can allow that guy to get that wide open. And the very heartbreaker in the playoffs when we were 13-3, he allows a 3rd and 20 conversion. But I have a feeling that maybe that's something to do with the fact that how Rod Marinelli runs his defense. He always likes to use three down linemen a lot, and I'm not really a big fan of that. That allows too much time for the quarterback. Even though, to be honest, in all fairness, David Irvin was held on that play, but still, I think it was mainly the issues of the scheme and the fact that Byron Jones doesn't have that ball hawking mentality of getting the football. I'm happy to let him walk, but I also don't want him to go to a division rival because he's still pretty young. He's like 27 right now, I think. Mm-hmm. And but I'm happy to replace him. And on the defense, I know that DeMarcus Lawrence didn't have the best season last year, but he had Robert Quinn. But the fact is, our defensive tackles are just they don't work in this scheme. For some reason, Rod Marinara, as I like to call him, likes defensive tackles with abs. Or Dinosaur Marinelli, that's another name for him, because his scheme was just so horribly outdated. It needed to go. And then, of course, Richard, while he's a good secondary coach, he has a preference for corners being very tall, like 6 foot. I mean, Jordan Lewis had far better potential, you know. Cheeto Bay, he was struggling a bit. And Anthony Brown, he can be okay, but he's not someone that you want to depend on. But yeah, getting back, we need, like you said, DCF, and we need that plugger. We need that run stuffer. We need that beat. We need that plugger that will stop the run, and hell, even provide some pass rushing ability. We need a guy like Michael Pierce or that guy from Detroit, you know, or Danny Shelton, whoever is going to come down here. They will definitely help out the defensive ends make plays, so the linebackers don't have to come in and clean up the mess that the defensive line can't apply pressure or stuff to run. You know, we need that. We need those run pluggers. That's very important. And safeties, some ball hawking safeties. I mean, would I mind Jeff Heath coming back? That'd be nice, but we need better safeties overall. And maybe Donovan Wilson might be that guy, but we can always look in the free agency or maybe the draft. So, but yeah, there's my thoughts. I don't know if y'all agree with them. You know, we can agree to disagree. So,
good points.
All good points.
Yeah.
Real good points. Go ahead, boys, for life. What you got?
You know, I want to talk about the line real quick, especially the nose tackle area where you said we need a big, beefy guy. If we're going to go up, that's the only guy that I want in the draft that's coming off the line is Kinlaw. If we can't get him, I think we should. There's a bunch of free agents that are serviceable, that are real good run stoppers coming into free agency. Sign one of them, and go after a Dilpit or a McKinney, or like I said before in my other videos, if there's a Henry Ruggs out there, get him, because I mean you'll have Cooper, you'll have Cobb, you'll have Gallup, and then the speed of a Henry Ruggs. I mean that is a dangerous wide receiving core. And then if we're letting Jones walk, because I mean I don't mind keeping him if it's at a 11 mil, 12, even a 13 mil, but I'm not going above that to keep him because he's not worth that much. To me, there's an AJ Terrell out there. If he's there in the second round, figure out, okay, what teams don't need a corner and trade up to that last possible spot in the second round to go after him. Because he's a guy who can cover. He's a guy that can come off the corner and get you a sack like what Orlando Scandrick did. And what I like about him is every highlight that I've seen him in, he turns around and he plays the ball. He doesn't play the corner, because that's how we get a lot of pass interference. When we had Chris Richard come out and talk about how he doesn't like his guys to turn their head, it's like, well, there you go. That's why we're getting a lot of PI calls, is because they're playing the player and not the ball. And AJ Terrell, for me as a corner, turns around and he finds and he locates the ball and he makes plays. And that's what I would like to see in this upcoming draft. If you can't get a Kinlaw, at least sign someone that is serviceable, that'll do a decent enough job at the nose tackle position, and then go after what we need to go after. Because, I mean, I don't mind a Jeff Heath one more year if we can get in that position that we're going to draft, like a wide receiver or a corner, if they're a playmaker type of person.
That's good. Good points.
No, that is good stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a guy, you talked about Kinlaw, who the chances of us getting Kinlaw is very slim. There's another guy I like, and maybe you heard of 1980, Jordan Elliott. I think that guy, we could probably get him in the third round, and I like me some Jordan Elliott. Do y'all know anything about that guy?
I can't say I do, man.
I'm going to go ahead and look him up.
I'll have to look that guy up.
What?
Nah.
It's Jordan Elliott, guys. Come on. He's a Missouri
a draft guy, man.
he's a Missouri product, and Missouri guy, the Missouri, college. I mean, produces some real intense defensive linemen, and Jordan Elliott, to me, he's an upgrade from Tyron Crawford in the one under tackle position, but he's not the prototype Rod Marinelli undersized one technique under tackle, right? He's more of that beefy guy. And I think Jordan Elliott, you can get him in the third round, and he can help this defensive line day one.
That'll work.
And he's a Texas guy too, so I'm not biased. I'm from Texas too. He was born in Missouri City, Texas, and he went to Missouri. So
wow,
there's that. But But no, and that's what you get. Let me make some plugs real quick, guys. That's the draft knowledge you get on the Frisco Report with myself and Cowboys blog. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, guys. Make sure you follow the Frisco Report on Twitter too, at the Frisco Report, guys. We drop it like it's hot every Tuesday night, so pay attention to the community tab when I drop the link. Follow me on Twitter. I retweet it on there, guys. It's about a 40-minute discussion of what's happening now with the Dallas Cowboys with, again, Cowboys blog, guys. So if you want draft talk, that's where it's at. And tomorrow, just to give you guys a hint, we're going to do top 15 Dallas Cowboy free agent signings. And I don't want to spoil anything. That's going to be a topic. So if you want to know my top 15 best Dallas Cowboy – no, I don't think we're doing 15. Probably 5. And then we're going to do a bottom 3. So if y'all want to know what my selections were for top 5, bottom 3, make sure you tune in tomorrow on the Frisco Report.
Wow.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Roundtable, guys. Dallas Cowboy Fight 1980 is already on the stream here. Subscribe to that, man, if you haven't already. My Cowboys family. And he tells it like it is. His name's Fifth Quarter Cowboys. I tried to get him in here tonight, but he's already dozing off counting sheep. So that guy works harder than any guy I know.
Yes, sir.
Multi-minded and Voice for Life, guys. Those guys are here on the stream also. Make sure you subscribe to them. They're just spitting knowledge like it's crazy. But we're back to the action here. That's all I got for my commercial break. Is there any draft picks that you guys would like for the Cowboys to bring in that we can actually go get? That's reasonable to go get. Anybody got anything? And I seen someone say something about A.J. Terrell. I would love A.J. Terrell in the second round, by the way. He's a Clemson product.
How do you feel about C.J. Henderson as a cornerback from the draft?
I think C.J. Henderson had a damn good pro day. Scouting combine. I mean, C.J. Henderson blew the roof off that place. And I think his stock went up. If you're going to get him, you got to get him in the first round if you're going to get C.J. Henderson.
Gotcha. But I've read the major flaw with him is his tackling. Do you think that can be coached up well?
I think that can be coached up well. Honestly, I really do. Texas A&M. You look at Wilson, and you look at Coach Maurice. Wilson knows how to tackle. He's a hard-hitting, rapping son of a gun. They coached tackling over there at Texas A&M. Maurice is going to come in here and help those guys tackle.
Hey, football news. I'm gonna get out of here, man. I got to get the kids to bed and stuff, man.
Hey, bro. Thank you for coming in here, man. Let them know where they can find you.
Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980 right here on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook as well. I don't really do too much over there. I'm kind of taking a little break. I made a video last week. I'll do videos every now and then, but pretty soon here I'm going to take a little break because I got some projects I'm working on, the man cave and stuff for next season. So I want to be good and fresh and be at full power by the time next season starts, you know what I'm saying? Because this is the I think season right now. Everything everybody's talking about is I think. So I love what you're doing, man. Keep doing your thing, football news. Multi-minded, hey, bro. I haven't forgot about you, bro. I got you. Trust me, I got you, man. Boys for life, man. You stay blessed, man. Hey, brother. But I'm out of here, man. Bless everybody on the panel. Bless everybody in the chat, man. And I appreciate you having me on. Make sure you stay cowboyed up and prayed up because you never know what the day is going to bring you. Holla back at your boy. I'm out.
Take care, man. Good.
Take care, man. All right, y'all. I'm out.
That was Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980, guys. So make sure you subscribe to his channel. I'm sure y'all guys know him. The guy has
over 10,000 definitely
subscribers. So guys, but let's do a fast round real quick, guys. Let's go 7 minutes. Let's end the stream at 9 o'clock Central Time. Okay. Any last thoughts that any of you guys got to say? Multi-minded, you go first. 7 minutes.
Okay, for the draft. Was there any other defensive tackles you liked other than Kinlaw? Because I've heard there was Kinlaw was maybe injury prone or something like that. Yeah,
Jordan Elliott.
We'll
get him in the third.
Yeah, and what about Derek Brown? How was he? Was he a good defensive tackle or no?
I don't think he participated in the combine.
Okay, Derek Brown. He seems to have the.
I got to look on that. I don't know if he participated or not.
Well, this is Walter Football. I don't think they updated for some reason they updated the wide receiver, but not the defensive side of things. but I did watch a little bit of the combine on YouTube. You know, the defensive backs, the linebackers. That's another thing I think. You know, do you try to draft another linebacker too in case Leighton
Yes.
Vander Esch isn't ready to go? Yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe even sign one in free agency. That's what I would do too. Someone that's
Yes.
good in coverage and can tackle. That's the main thing I'll look for, and isn't afraid to hit it, at least. But
Yeah.
as far as safety, would you go free agency or the draft?
Draft.
Draft.
Draft, yeah. I mean, we've all been wanting a safety for a long time. I mean, Jeff Heath is a good guy, but to me,
He's not starting material. He's a good backup to have.
I've said it. Jeff Heath is not a starting material guy. He's a backup
Yeah.
and a great special teams guy, but
Exactly.
he's not starting material. And I've never liked him at the starting spot. I've been, for the past 2 or 3 drafts, I've been wanting a safety. I mean, the last great safety we've had was Darren Woodson. I mean, that was the last great safety we've had.
I mean, Roy Williams could have been that guy, but he was starting to fade down with his very below-average coverage skills. So yeah.
And so, just to touch base with you, multi-minded real quick, Derek Brown did participate in the NFL Combine. 6'5", 326, and I want to say I talked about him on the Frisco Report. And you could probably get him in the second round. He's definitely a 3-tech guy. I mean, the guy's huge, and I like Derek Brown. So sorry I messed up the name. There's another Brown that didn't participate, and I got the 2 messed up. But Brown from Auburn, definitely, guys. Multi-minded, where can they find you at?
You can definitely find me on YouTube where I do, reviews and stuff like that. And I do live streams once in a blue moon. And what else? I'm trying to think. Sorry about that. I also, of course, do Cowboy stuff. And I always want to make sure I can, talk what my upcoming thoughts on this season will be. It's like you said, it's I think season, or you hope that it's going to be better than last season, because that's what we all want. We don't want another average season where we could have done this but we didn't, because it's time to show what this team is made of. And as far as YouTube, you can always find me you definitely can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. I am on Facebook, but I don't exactly have like my channel name up there. So, but you definitely can find me on Twitter for sure, where I can post links to my reviews and stuff like that, or whenever I'm talking Cowboy stuff. A guy by the name of Flip Doubt, would always put up these thumbnails of the videos I post on YouTube to show what I, have uploaded to my channel. So yeah, you can definitely find me on Twitter and on YouTube, and there you go.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Boys for Life, what else you got, man? What else you want to talk about?
I really don't got nothing else. I mean, we all touched points on, everyone touched points on what I wanted to hear. But like I've said, and I'm going to reiterate it again, and like you said also, it's slim. We may or may not get Kinlaw, but that's the only one that I really want out of the draft. As far as drafting goes, if there's a wide receiver out there like a Ruggs, get him. But I really want to go secondary if we're letting Byron Jones walk. I want secondary in the first round, secondary in the second round, because that seems to be our weakest point every year. And I just want to assure that we're going to have a great secondary, because that's what seems to be our weakest point. We got our linebackers set up for a few years. We got our edge rushers on the D line. We just need that solid nose tackle, which I think we can find in free agency. But as far as the defensive side goes, I want my secondary at a high level, because I played secondary in high school. I played corner in high school, and I want my secondary top notch, like what we used to have back in the early days.
Well said. Well said. Where can they find you, Boys for Life?
You can just basically find me here on YouTube. I'm not a big social media guy as far as Twitter. I do have an Instagram, but that's mainly my personal stuff. I really don't have my Cowboy stuff up there. So just look at me for Boys for Life. If you like trash talking, I'm your guy. I'll be making fun of Eagle fans and Giant fans all off season and into the regular season, all day, every day.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for joining. My closing statements real quick. Rhinestone Cowboy, thank you for joining. Winter Allen, thank you as always. Keith, thank you as always. VTP STTU, thank you for joining, and thank you again for the interactions Q&A on the Frisco Report. Let's see who else is there. Cowboys X Factor is also in the house, guys. And if I missed your name, I didn't scroll enough through. Jack Duncan, again, Hector Vega, all those guys. Appreciate you joining. It's been your Dallas Cowboy Football News. Cowboy Nation. Peace.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, man.